Hello, I'm Dawnmist, and today I'd like to talk about a theory that's been cooking in my head. Is Snowtuft connected to StormClan? Now this might sound a little far-fetched at first, but hear me out. Snowtuft was first introduced in Omen of the Stars as one of the cats training in the Dark Forest. He's probably most known for having his stomach ripped open by Shredtail under Hawkfrost's orders. He appears to be a resident there, not a living cat. He was the Dark Forest mentor of Hollowflight and participated in the battle against the clans. Very little was known about him at this point. Later in Book 5 of the Broken Code, The Place of No Stars, Shadowsight meets Snowtuft and we learn that he's unsupportive of Ashfur and afraid of how the Dark Forest is shrinking. He ends up helping to free the spirits who are being kept prisoner on the island, shows Squirrelflight and Bramblestar the way out of the Dark Forest, and is killed by Ashfur after he helps Shadowsight, Rootspring, and Bristlefrost escape. So what do we know about Snowtuft's life before the Dark Forest? The Broken Code sheds some light on this. We learn he was a ShadowClan cat. He knows that he wasn't the nicest cat and cared a lot about power, but this is really the only solid information we get about him. Snowtuft can't remember much of his life, or even why he's in the Dark Forest. Because the passing of time feels different for Dark Forest cats, he doesn't know how long ago he died. What we do know is that he died before Firestar joined ThunderClan as Rusty, because he doesn't remember ShadowClan's elder Oakfur, who was an apprentice at the time. Now Snowtuft did remember Tigerstar, and I think some people interpreted this as he was alive during Tigerstar's leadership. But I think he was only remembering Tigerstar as a Dark Forest cat. He didn't know him in the living world. And he would have remembered Oakfur if this was the case. But this is just my interpretation of what he said. So why wouldn't Snowtuft remember details about his life? The simple reason could be that as cats fade, their memories fade too. But Maggottail, said to be the eldest of the Dark Forest leaders in Omen of the Stars, remembers being obsessed with ruling ShadowClan. And Silverhawk, who was first shown in the Dark Forest in Crooked Star's Promise, remembers his mate Emberdawn, their son, and how he died. So why doesn't Snowtuft remember? Well, here's my theory. What if Snowtuft was alive during StormClan's era? The memory of StormClan was erased from StarClan cats, so why wouldn't it be the same for a cat sent to the Place of No Stars? If StormClan played a big enough role in Snowtuft's life, that would explain why he remembers so little. When Galestar and Stripestar united WindClan and ThunderClan to create StormClan, the other clans were opposed to the idea and blamed the large clan for a shortage of prey. If Snowtuft was a ShadowClan cat at this time, like his clanmates, he probably would have disapproved of StormClan. Could he have acted on his frustration? Snowtuft could have plotted with his clanmates against StormClan somehow. It could have been something as simple as a border dispute where he ended up killing someone, or maybe he launched his own raid against StormClan, disapproving of how his leader was handling it. Maybe he had a family member who died of starvation and he blamed StormClan and snapped. We know Snowtuft cared about power, so maybe he was a ShadowClan deputy and argued with his leader about how to deal with StormClan. Or maybe he killed his deputy to take their place on the matter. Or, consider this. Was Snowtuft even born a ShadowClan cat? As the StormClan experiment failed, some of the cats are said to have returned to the forest to recreate WindClan and ThunderClan. What if Snowtuft was one of these cats, but he decided to join ShadowClan instead? This doesn't really fit in with what we know about him wanting power, but it's a great explanation for why he doesn't remember so much. If he spent most of his life in StormClan and his family was there, all that memory would be erased, and he would only remember being in ShadowClan. I guess he could have tried to snag power after joining ShadowClan, but I can't really picture that. Anyway, that's my little Snowtuft theory. I think it's very possible that Snowtuft is connected to StormClan, and I really hope I'm right because I like this concept. Later this year, StormClan's Folly is being released, so I'll be really excited to find out if my theory has any truth to it. If Snowtuft is in the Allegiances, I'm going to freak. So those are my thoughts on Snowtuft and StormClan. What do you think of this idea? Feel free to leave your own thoughts and comments below. Thanks for watching this episode of Dawnmist Talks.